Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys, trader and technical analyst educator, and we had a consolidation day out there in the markets today. Little bit of rotation going on. We'll check in on that. And the AI sector continues to provide that wonderful volatility in both directions. Some names standing out stronger, some names weaker. We'll check in on all of our major sectors.
EMA 12, little bit of a lower wick. We started the morning with no rotation where we had XLF, XLV, QQQ. They all broke the low of yesterday, and the bears had a good morning. They pretty much saw the morning that they wanted to see. And then the afternoon came around, and we did see some rotation going on. We saw the healthcare sector, which we'll look at in just a moment, had its most bullish day in 3 weeks today. And so there is some potential rotation going on where if the Nasdaq is pulling back, does that mean the healthcare sector bounces? It's only one day. It's not a whole lot of information today, but it's something to be keeping an eye out for. We also had the financial sector bounce back more than half of the drop. The financial sector had a big red day, but we did bounce back more than half of that drop. So that's why we've got this lower wick on SPY. And we're looking for anything above 409.88 to be a daily high or low. Definitely still watching the potential rising wedge because of these bull breaks that lack follow through. And in my opinion, it's going to be up to the Nasdaq whether this is a rising wedge or not. And looking at the Nasdaq, no red flags whatsoever on this consolidation, and a little bit down after hours, not significantly, but I'm keeping a simple statement. If daily EMA 12 is support, the daily chart has nothing to worry about. And so we could pull back for another 2 days and still be looking just fine, considering we just went 7% in 4 days. So hourly time frame, clear downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, not close to hourly oversold at this point. And we're just going to use this hourly downtrend as our guide. If we stay in an hourly downtrend, the bears stay in control. If the hourly trend change shapes up, then we'll be looking for the daily high or low to be shaping up. At this point in time, it is still a possible daily bull flag. If we look at our retracement size, we can see that we are not touching 382 retracement yet. And so, burdens on the Nasdaq bears to prove to me that this is anything more than expected, very healthy daily consolidation. So far, it's not anything more than that. But we'll see what the next couple of days bring as we close out the week. Semiconductors pulling back, close at the low of the day. A little bit more of a convincing pullback, but if we look at the retracement here as well, it still hasn't gotten to 382. The hourly is just getting towards oversold, not there quite yet. Did see an hourly lower low into the end of the day, which QQQ did not see. But overall, hourly downtrend is our guide, scouting the daily higher lows, and it will be a back burner looking for first hourly oversold conditions to try and mark a daily higher low. And if we look at some of these other AI names, AI related names, of course, NVDA, bears kept control for NVDA as well, close at the low, slightly up after hours, insignificant. We're looking at 375 support and then 366. We got real close to hourly oversold today. And as a day trader, I don't care what direction we go. This volatility is awesome. This is exactly what a day trader wants to see for significant opportunity. And so I was doing the public live stream this morning, and I didn't get the hourly lower high short. It was a fast move up and then a fast drop down. But as I signed off, I said, the next trade I'm looking for is a 15-minute lower high. And so I then zoomed in, knowing we were testing 15-minute EMA 12 resistance. And I then used the 2-minute stair step. If you don't know what the stair step is, Google Chart Guys stair step. But we had a 2-minute stair step on this portion of the bounce. And as soon as we lost the stair step, I shorted. And I said, that's either the 15-minute lower high or I will stop out. And fortunately, that was the 15-minute lower high as the bears kept significant control from there, scaled out into a day maker on that trade, and then went long before hourly oversold. So I was waiting for hourly oversold, but I made an initial scale in entry when the hourly RSI was down at like 31. And the reason I did that is because the 30-minute RSI was pretty much at 20. The 15-minute RSI was in the low 20s. The 5-minute RSI was in the low 20s. So that's that super stack where you get a ton of different time frames all aligning oversold in unison together. And so I entered at 381 with the game plan of another order at 379 and another order at 377 if we just kept flushing. And as soon as that bounce gets started, I then remove those bids because RSI started to cool off on all these shorter term time frames. So I ended up selling half at, I was in at 381. I sold half at 383, break even 379. let the trade play out a little bit, and exited in the 384s at the end of the day, fortunately right before that dump. So small win on the bounce attempt, but clearly not ready for the reversal to take place yet at this point. We do have an earnings reaction after hours on AI. This is not impacting NVDA, but this does impact small cap AI names because we are now entering daily consolidation, and we're going to be looking for a daily high or low, but it's a big pullback. AI's temporary top is in because now we are down after hours, like 28% from the highs. So what that does is has us looking for an eventual daily high or low and then an eventual daily low or high after that. So AI bears getting followed through on the earnings reaction. PLTR is a daily bull flag attempt. Very healthy consolidation at this point. It is being impacted by AI earnings after hours, but I'm watching PLTR tomorrow. Can we form an hourly high or low and set up a trend change to try and keep this daily bull flag alive? Looking at my AI list, some other lead bulls today. Path, V-shape, bear earnings reaction into continuation. So Path is staying a lead bull. RBLX broke to the highest level after a week of sideways, watching 42.68. So those are a couple of the lead bulls, but a consolidation day in the sector overall. And now with this AI bearish earnings reaction after hours, it is definitely going to deflate the AI hype and momentum at least a bit. So keeping that in mind, playing hourly lower highs when it's the most likely scenario, playing daily higher lows when it's the most likely scenario, and keeping an eye on PLTR right now as a bull, watching AI for an hourly lower high to be a short next bounce, and watching NVDA to try and form a daily higher low, watching to see if we get actual oversold conditions tomorrow. That's the AI summary. Tesla bulls close the day very strong. A little bit of end of the month window dressing perhaps, but trying to set a quick daily higher low. Looks a lot like PLTR and how it formed. So we have a lot of space for an hourly higher low next consolidation. Bulls need to break 204.48 to see continuation. And then we're looking at that 217.65 as the most important level from here, as that is the level that would confirm a monthly uptrend if it breaks. So here's healthcare, most bullish day in 3 weeks, highest volume day, second highest volume day in a month. That gets my attention. Another name that has not confirmed an hourly uptrend, but there's a ton of space for an hourly higher low to be the result of next consolidation. So if you're looking to be a bull, scouting a weekly higher low in this equilibrium, you can look at that and say, that's either the weekly higher low or I'm wrong, and you enter on hourly consolidation and your stop goes under 126. So bulls need to confirm the hourly uptrend, then we need to shape up a daily uptrend if we're going to see this weekly equilibrium continuing to tighten up from here. Financial sector confirmed a daily bear flag into a bounce. We would have to confirm an hourly uptrend if I'm going to say that that's a daily bear flag with zero follow through. And again, bigger picture, if weekly EMA 12 is resistance, the bears have control of XLF, same as IWM. Bear flag confirms, not much follow through, but if weekly EMA 12 is resistance, the bears have control, bigger picture. KRE, daily downtrend confirmed. So we were keeping an eye out for that daily lower high to be set. And now that that daily downtrend is confirmed, we zoom out to the weekly, and we're either going to form a weekly higher low compared to 34.52 to shape up a weekly uptrend, or it's a bear flag heading back down to lower lows. And burdens on bulls to prove to us that a weekly higher low can form, but anybody that played this bounce should be risk-free at this point. Plenty of bounce follow-through, 15, 17%. To sell partial and stick your stop at break even, it's either a long-term bottom or it's not. ARKK traded very well today, closing at the high. We broke the low of yesterday first thing with zero follow-through. Still watching very closely on these growth names to see if they get a turn to try and confirm the monthly inverse head and shoulders. So ARKK still on watch as long as the daily uptrend remains intact. The dollar, potential 4-hour rising wedge here. So this is one to be watching for the rest of the week. Anchor point right there. And another one right there. So we're testing support now. And if we break this bearish, we'll zoom out and we'll look at daily consolidation. And we're watching the metals to try and bounce here. Gold is a daily falling wedge that I've drawn a couple of times. Silver, little bit of bounce followed through. And the miners putting in a temporary bottom today. Volume standing out. Base of support the last few days. So have to see dollar weakness for these miners and these metals to get any bull follow through. But they're starting their bounces while the dollar is still up near the highs. So let's see if the dollar rolls over before the end of the week. Oil, the red flags have been firing for the bulls. The bears are following through now. And we're just looking down at the 63.90 low after a hard rejection from weekly EMA 12 resistance. And natural gas, bears still in complete control. It's a choppy mess. I said on the live stream today, if you told me that I had to trade natural gas or I can't trade anything, I'd be done trading. It does not respond well to my style of technical analysis. I have zero edge in determining the direction of natural gas. It's a choppy mess. I have no idea what the most likely scenario is. I have a ton of ideas of what the most likely scenarios are in a bunch of other names. So I am not going to trade something that I have zero edge in. And honestly, my technical analysis for natural gas right now is not useful because I have no confidence in how it responds to price. So if you ask me, what is the least, what instrument in any market is the least suited for technical analysis besides something that's extremely illiquid and gaps everywhere? I would say natural gas. So that's where we stand. Volatility in AI is going to continue. The sector and the individual name, 1 minute stair step there, just sees a bull break for 3%. So we've got a lot of volatility to come. Daily higher lows on watch for the sector. Watching for hourly oversold conditions, which has not happened yet. And then if it's a big enough pullback, we will scout the daily lower highs as well. NVDA is getting there. NVDA absolutely scouting a higher low, but if we have another red day tomorrow, we'll have a decent amount of space for a daily lower high to be the result of the next bounce. With where we stand right now, if we were to bounce, we could bounce 10%. And a little bit less than that. We could bounce 8% and still be looking for a daily lower high. So, major things. Do we see rotation going on during this Nasdaq consolidation? Does the Nasdaq consolidation remain healthy? And what's up with AI? Again, I haven't swung any AI names in a long time. For me, it's just the day trading volatility in both directions, which has been wonderful. Appreciate you watching. Do good things. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is an albino white squirrel. And I think they're only in Japan and a town in western North Carolina. And this one's been, I've seen it up the street a few hundred yards away a couple times. This is the first time it's been in my yard. Pretty cool. What you looking at?